How y'all doing, my people? I'm back, bringing to y'all a NBA Finals 1996 replay. I would say probably one of my favorite games of all time. Growing up, I was only like 8 years old, because I'm 37 right now. But um, yeah, I watched this game in NBC Channel 2. Man, it was a hell of a game. I really could not stop watching it. And the highlights, I still go back to YouTube. Last night, I was watching the highlights, and in the series where the Chicago Bulls actually won. I think they won in 6 games, right? 4 games to 2 on the series for them to win their NBA Finals championship. I don't know which number was it, but this was a big Chicago's Bulls championship dynasty team. I mean, man, their history. I mean, you go back, their records were so good, man. And Michael Jordan, the GOAT, one of the, if not one of the greatest NBA players of all time to ever touch a basketball on the court. He's definitely number one, my number one. I'm gonna tell you my top 5 NBA players of all time. I have Michael Jordan listed at number 1. 2 is Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. 3, I have LeBron James. 4, I have Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors, and Tim Duncan at 5th. So that's my top 5, and that's my opinion. That's the way I list them, the way I see them. So everybody, of course, has a different list, top 5. So, but anyways, let's get to the game. In this 1996, the Seattle SuperSonics, being one of the best defensive teams, being going in that year, it finished with a record of 64 wins and 18 losses. Just a phenomenal record, and one of their best defensive players and best guards of all time. Man, the dude could really defend anybody. It didn't matter if you were 3, 4, even 8 inches taller than him. He would defend you, and you would not take no easy buckets on him. And that's Gary Payton, one of the greatest defending point guards of all time. And they had so many great players in there. Sean Kemp, just a Duncan monster. Dude could just dunk on pretty much on everybody. And the Chicago Bulls, they finished with a record of 72 wins and 10 losses. That's pretty much, they were number 1 for so many years until the Golden State Warriors. I don't know what year. I think it was in 2016 or 17, some of those years. They finished with 73 wins and 9 losses, right? And that great Golden State Warrior dynasty. The Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and so many great players in that Warriors lineup. Now, today we're gonna do the replay, and I know the Chicago Bulls won this series 4 games to 2, but let's see how it would be in our universe. Now here for the Seattle SuperSonics, their starting lineup was Gary Payton sitting at point guard. Shooting guard, it was Hershey Hawkins. Small forward, it was what's this guy named, Detlef Schrempf. And power forward was Sean Kemp, and then at center was Irvin Johnson. And the bench, I don't know any of those guys. But then the Chicago Bulls, we had their point guard was Ron Harper. Shooting guard, it was the great, legendary Michael Jordan. At small forward, it was Scottie Pippen, and of course another great defender, probably one of the best defenders of all time, Dennis Rodman, sitting at power forward. And then their center was Luke Longley, and their bench, I don't know anybody neither. So there you go. I told you how, their lineups and how we're gonna do it. The Sonics here in my universe, the way I rate them, their offense is a +2, so we will be rolling a offense and defensive die here. So if it lands on offense, they're gonna be able to use their offensive rating, bonus points. So if they hit an offense on the die for each quarter, then they're gonna get +2, 2 more points. Only now, if the let's say if the Chicago Bulls roll and the defense falls, like here, it lands on defense, the other team, like the Sonics, they're a -3 on defense, so they will subtract 3 points off that quarter against the Bulls. The Bulls, they're a +3 on offense. They're a little bit better than the Sonics, and offensively, and then the defense, they're a -2. So if the Sonics roll is their roll on their quarter, and they roll a defense on the die, that means that the Bulls are going to be able to subtract 2 points off their score. So let's get this game started, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 7-game series here at the NBA Finals 1996 replay. Who is going to win the championship here in our world, in my universe? Let's see right now who will win. All right, let's see the tip-off. Who's going to win the tip-off? The red here is the Chicago Bulls, and the green here is the Sonics. Each team is going to be able to shoot 6 dices, you know, so just to let y'all know that. All right, here we go. We're going to get a jump ball right here. Start the first quarter. Nobody yet. That's a 5-1. So the Chicago Bulls will take the ball first. Here we go. They're going to roll all 6 dices, and of course the offensive and defensive die. Let's see how is this replay going to turn out to be. Will the Supersonics win it? You know, in our, imagination, in our fictional world. Here we go. Here it comes. The Chicago Bulls. They have home field advantage, so they will start their 2 first home games. Here we go. And that will be an offense. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be, let me see, 10, 13, 16, 19, 20. 20 plus 3, that's 23 points for the Chicago Bulls in the first quarter. Okay, here we go. The Seattle Supersonics, what they're going to do here in the first quarter. Here we go. Seattle, ready to shoot. They have so many great players in that lineup. Gary Payton, great defender. Sean Kemp, Hershey Hawkins. So many great players in that lineup. Here we go. This will be a 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 offense. 21 plus 2, 23. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. After one quarter, it's all tied up at 23 apiece. Man, we already seeing a real good NBA Finals right here. Replay. Here we go. We're going into the second quarter. The Chicago Bulls get the inbound in the second quarter. Here we go. What are they going to do right here? They let him go. And that will be a 10, 15, 17, 19, 20. 20 plus 3. That's 23 more points for the Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen. And man, they're going to go at halftime with 46 points. Here we go. The Chicago Bulls, what are they going to do right here in the second quarter? And that's going to be, let's see, that's going to be 6, 12, 15, 18, 20, 20, and then that's going to be plus 2. That's going to be 22 points. Oh my God, look at this. What's the score at halftime? That is 45-46 at halftime. Now, I forgot to say something in the beginning of the video, and I'm sorry if I forgot. I want to give a special shout out to, Cards and Dice with Don. Thank you so much, brother. You're always shouting me out in your videos. You're always sharing my stuff. You're always posting my videos and everything for other people to follow. Thank you so much, Don. I really appreciate it, man. You've really been showing a lot of love and support on my channel, just like I have for you. And, man, thank you so much, brother. Like, seriously, it means a lot to me. And I was checking out that 4-card boxing, and, man, I'm definitely going to make a video out of that, because that boxing game, the only thing, just bear with me, all right? I have to learn the rules first. So I'll be watching more videos of that, 4-card boxing, if you can make a few more, so I can understand the rules better and to learn how to play it. And I'll definitely make a video on your honor, you know what I mean? So thank you so much once again, Don. And to all my subscribers too, everybody's been tuning in and following, thank you so much. And really appreciate it. So let's get back to the game. We're going into the third quarter. We're going to get another jump ball battle, and that will be on the Seattle Supersonics. So the Seattle Supersonics will get the ball right here. Let's see what are they gonna do in the third quarter. That's a 12, 17, 22, 24, 26. 26 plus 2. That's gonna be 28 points for the Seattle Supersonics, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm telling you, the Seattle Supersonics are playing great basketball right here. Here we go. We're going into the fourth quarter. What is the Chicago Bulls going to do right here? And that's going to be, let me see, 10, 12, 15, 21, 27. 27 plus 3, 30 points. Oh my God. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a big quarter. Well, both teams had a great third quarter right there. 23 plus 22 plus 28. That is 73 points in the first three quarters for the Seattle Supersonics. For the Chicago Bulls, it would be 76 points. So the Chicago Bulls are leading by 3 points after three quarters. Here we go. The Seattle Supersonics. What are they going to do here as they get the inbound? Here we go. Let's see. And that will be 12, 13, 17, 22, 24. 24, but there's a defensive play here. 24 minus 2 of the Bulls. 24. That will bring it down to 22 points against the Seattle Supersonics. So great defense that time by the Chicago Bulls right there. So let's go now to the row of the Chicago Bulls. What are they going to do here? Let's see what they're going to do here. And that's going to be an 11, 13, 15, 16, 18. Offense, 18 plus 3. That's 21 points for the Chicago Bulls. So let's go ahead and tally up this quarters. See who won the game. That's 45, 73 we said in the first three quarters for Seattle. Plus 22. That's going to be 95 points for the Seattle Supersonics. Now for the Chicago Bulls, how much they got? 46, 76. 76 plus 21. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. The Chicago Bulls win it by 2. So Chicago leads the series. Leads 1-0 here in the 7-game series at the NBA Finals 1996 replay. Now we're going to game 2. Man, that was a great game by both teams, especially Seattle. They did not play a single defensive bonus right there in their die, but we'll see if they can do it on this game 2. All right, here we go. I'm trying to hurry up a little bit because I already got to head to work already. I'll go at work at 7. Here we go. That's going to be, okay. The Chicago Bulls win the tip-off. Here we go. What are they going to do in the first quarter? And that's going to be, okay, that's going to be 7, 8, 10, 13, 16. 16 minus 3 by the Sonics. 13 points. Oh, my God. And the Chicago Bulls just had one of the worst, most awful, terrible quarters of their of this NBA Finals series. Here we go. What is the Seattle Supersonics are gonna do right here? I dropped another dice, Don, so the countdown continues. Man, I'm telling you, man, my hands are just too slippery, man. I continue to fumble the die. Here we go. The Seattle Supersonics. What are they gonna do here in the first quarter? 6, 9, 13, 19, 23, 23. Plus 2 more, that's 25 points for the Seattle Supersonics. So after one quarter, the Seattle Supersonics are leading by double digits on the Chicago Bulls, 25-13. Here we go. We're going into the second quarter. What is the Chicago Bulls going to do here? They're down by as many as by 12. That's going to be a 7, 11, 13, 19, 20, 20. Plus 3, that's 23 points for the Chicago Bulls. So they kind of settled down a little bit after that horrible first quarter. They only could come up with 13 points. Great defense by the Seattle Supersonics. Here we go, Seattle. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? Oh, man. Okay. Let me see. 15, 16, 19, 22. 22 plus 2, that's going to be 24 points. So at halftime, the Seattle Supersonics are leading the Chicago Bulls 49-36, ladies and gentlemen, by 13. So good job that time. Seattle Supersonics controlling them with good defense. 5-3 once again. The Chicago Bulls win the jump ball, the tip-off here in the second half. Here we go. The Chicago Bulls are the first ones to get the possession. What are they going to do in the third quarter? Can they come back? 10, 16, 18, 22, 26. 26 plus 3, that's 29 points for the Chicago Bulls. So, man, they came out firing in that third quarter. The Seattle Supersonics better watch out because this Bulls, Michael Jordan, and that great lineup, you know, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, those guys, when they get going, this team is unstoppable. This team can beat anybody. Well, they could beat anybody in that 96 playoffs. Here we go. Seattle Supersonics. What are they? Oh my God, this is not good at all. This is not good at all. That's going to be 10, 12, 15. 15 minus 2 of the Bulls. That's going to be 13 points for the Seattle Supersonics. Oh my God, look at this. The Chicago Bulls are showing, they're showing a lot of determination, a lot of heart. So Chicago is really willing to come back in this one. Let's see if they can add another 20 plus, 25 plus quarter right now. Let's see. The Chicago Bulls, they're ready to shoot. Here we go. Here we go. What are they going to do here? And that's going to be 12, 15, 17, 19, 20. 20 plus 3, that's going to be 23 points for the Chicago Bulls. So how much the Chicago Bulls got? That's 36 plus 29 plus 23. And that's going to be 88 points for the Chicago Bulls. All right, let's see the Seattle Supersonics. What are they going to do here in their fourth quarter? They need to come up with big points. That's 10, 15, 20, 24, 27, 27 plus 2, 29 points for the Seattle Supersonics. They came up blowing up in that fourth quarter. So let's see what happens for them. And let's see how many points they got in the end of the game for Seattle. That's 49. All right, 49 plus 13 and plus 29. 91 points. Oh my God, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The Seattle Supersonics were able to come back on the Chicago Bulls. Man, despite that they had that terrible, awful third quarter where they just scored 13 and they're able to put up 29. And man, they win a close one. Again, another close game. And now Seattle ties the series. We're going to put here, series tied. One apiece. And guess what? Now Chicago is going to now fly to Seattle and face those Supersonics over there in their home court. So it's going to be extremely hard for Chicago to see if they can come out and win at least one game out of Seattle. So many teams didn't make it that much. They didn't make it alive out of Seattle, man. Seattle's a real rough and tough place to play at. If you ask Michael Jordan. Here we go. We're going to go and start game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the jump ball battle. Series is tied at one apiece. The Chicago Bulls, they win the jump ball battle. Let's see what they do here in the first quarter for the Chicago Bulls. What are they going to do here? Let's see. Chicago Bulls, let them go. And that's going to be, okay, here we go. That's going to be a 12, 17, 19, 23, 24, minus 3, 21 points for the Chicago Bulls. Great defense by Seattle. I'm pretty sure Gary Payton has some defensive highlights. in that during that first quarter. Here we go. The Seattle Supersonics playing here at home. Hopefully they say they can go up 3-1 on the series, and they can get a lot of help from their crowd, their fans, and they can, bring that great energy and that atmosphere in order for them to have the luck to win against a real tough team like the Chicago Bulls. Here we go. That's going to be 12, 14, 16. 16 only for the Seattle Supersonics. 16 minus 2 will be 14 points only for Seattle in that first quarter. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Chicago Bulls, they're going to start their second quarter here. What are they going to do here in game 3? All right, still a lot of basketball left to play here in this one. Here it goes. Chicago Bulls, they have another good roll. That's 10, 15, 17, 21. 21 plus 3, that's 24 points for the Chicago Bulls. So that's 45 points for them already at halftime. Let's see what the Seattle Supersonics are going to do here before halftime. Here we go. Seattle, they're getting ready to fire. Second quarter. That's going to be a 10, 13, 15, 16, 17 again. 17 and minus 2. That's 15 points only. Great defense by the Chicago Bulls. And ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, Chicago is leading the Seattle Supersonics by a lot. 45-29. 16-point blowout. Right now, lead over them at halftime after 2 quarters. All right, so here we go. We're going to get the jump ball battle. Start the third quarter. Once again, Chicago wins. Another tip-off. Here we go. They're going to start the third quarter. What are they going to do here? Chicago. And that's going to be 13, 18, 18, 19, 21. So that's 3, 8, 14, 15, 21. 21 plus 3, that's 24 points more for Chicago again after they got 24 in the second quarter. So here we go. Oh my God, I'm dropping so many dices. I'm sorry, people. I promise you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this small dices right here, man, they're real sometimes hard to grip and handle. Man, I try to do my best. Wow, the countdown continues. A lot of drop dices. Here we go. Third quarter for Seattle. It'll be a 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. 15 plus 2, that's 17 points. And I got to tell you, Seattle is just having a horrible game 3. I mean, come on. That is just not good. Come on. Chicago's going to wind up blowing out the Seattle team. They have not scored yet a 20-point quarter yet. Seattle in game 3. That's unbelievable. Here we go. Chicago lets them go. 9, 14, 15, 16, 19. 19 minus 3. That's 16 points only for Chicago. Great defense by Gary Payton and that Seattle Supersonics lineup. Here we go. So how much Chicago scored in 4 quarters? That's 45 plus 24 plus 16. And that will be 85 points for Chicago. And here we go. The last row for Seattle. Let's see if they can come back just like they did in game 2. Here we go. Can Seattle come back in this one? Let's see. And that's going to be 12, 17, 20, 22, 25. 25 plus 2, 27 points for Seattle Supersonics. So that's, let's see, 29 plus 17 and plus 27. Oh my God, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 85-73. Despite that was the best quarter they had here in game 3. 27 point in that 4th quarter. They were only able to come up with 73, and they still lost the game by 12. So Chicago leads the series now, 2-1. All right, so here comes Chicago back here in Seattle to play game 4, and they're up in the series 2-1. All right, here we go. We're gonna play the jump ball battle. Tip off 6-3. All right, so here comes Chicago wins the tip off. What are they gonna do here in game 4? Chicago in game 1. The first quarter here in game 4. That's going to be 8, 12, 16, 22, 24. 24 minus 3. That'll be 21 points for Chicago. Good defense that time by the Seattle Supersonics. Were able to take off, subtract 3. Here we go. Seattle, what are they going to do here in the first quarter? Will they have a better game than what they did in that game 3? That's 6, 7, 13, 19, 21. 21 minus 2, that'll be 19 points. So, man, this Chicago Bulls defense has been really, really playing rough against that great Seattle lineup. Shawn Kemp, I'm pretty sure Shawn Kemp has been going up, matching up against Dennis Rodman in all his nearly 4 games. And, man, I wonder how many points he's been getting every game, averaging, Here we go, Chicago in for second quarter. And this is definitely not going to be a good quarter for them. 5, 9, 11, 12, 15, 15 plus 3. That'll be 18 points only. Oh, my God. So, man, Chicago needs to start scoring a lot because Seattle, they can really get going. Here we go. What is Gary Payton, Shawn Kemp, Hershey Hawkins, what are they going to do to really find some kind of a strategy or a plan to attack that great Chicago Bulls defense? Here we go. That's a 3, 8, 10, 16, 17, 17 plus 2. Another 19 points. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? And we're going to halftime, and the Chicago Bulls are still leading this one by a point. 39-38. Here we go, Seattle. They're going to do the jump ball battle for the second half. And this time, finally, Seattle wins the tip-off. A jump ball battle. Here we go. We're going to the third quarter. Chicago, they're leading by 1. The Seattle Supersonics. Here we go. Oh, no. What was it? Oh, yeah, Seattle they got the tip off, so they will go first. Here comes the Seattle Supersonics. This would be a 12, 14, 15, 18, 23. 23 minus 2, that would be 21 points for the Seattle Supersonics. All right. And here we go. This is Chicago. What are they going to do here in the third quarter? Third quarter, that'll be 8, 11, 16, 17, 18. 18 plus 3, that'll be 21 points also for the Chicago Bulls. So they both play pretty even in that third quarter. Here we go. Seattle is going to get the inbound in the fourth quarter. Looking almost like a real even game, like almost a game that might be a close one. It might be another 2 or 1 point lead victory for any team. Here we go, Seattle. They're ready to start the fourth quarter. 8, 11, 16, 18, 21. 21 plus 2, 23 points for Seattle Supersonics in that last fourth quarter. Here we go, Chicago. What are they going to do? I have this weird feeling that Seattle is going to wind up winning this game if Chicago doesn't score at least 20 or 20 plus in this fourth quarter. Here we go, Chicago. They're ready to let it go. This will be a 13, 15, 16, 17 plus 3. That's 20 points. They did get their 20, but let's see. After we tally up the 4 quarters, that's 39 plus 21 and plus 20. And that's 80 points for Chicago in his final score. And now the Seattle Supersonics, 38 plus 21 plus 23. And guess what? Look at this. Seattle is going to win by 2 points. A 2-point victory for them, 82-80. And now the series is tied at 2 games apiece. All right, and now Seattle is going to fly back to Chicago to face the Chicago Bulls in their home court. And here we go. In their own home court. Let's see what happens in this one. Man, I think I lost my... Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm trying to erase something here because I make this square box right here kind of small. All right, so here we go. All right, so Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Seattle comes back to visit Chicago here in their home court. Who's going to win a jump ball battle? And that's going to be the Seattle Supersonics. Here we go. What are they going to do here? First quarter for the Seattle Supersonics. Here in Game 5, series is tied. Oh my God, what a bad quarter for them. 3, 5, 11, 14, 14, minus 2. That would be 12 points. Oh my God, just 12 points for the Seattle Supersonics. And that is not good. That is definitely not good. Only 12 points in that first quarter for Seattle. Here we go. Chicago can take advantage of that. This will be a 12, 17, 18, 21, 24. 24 minus 3 will be 21 points for the Chicago Bulls. Okay, here we go. And now we're about to play the second quarter. Seattle gets the inbound in the second. What are they going to do here? Seattle, that's a goal. And, oh, this is going to be a good quarter for Seattle. 17, 22, 25, 27. 27 minus 2, that'll be 25 points for the Seattle Supersonics. So that was a great quarter for Seattle, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here comes the Chicago Bulls before halftime. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? This will be 8, 12, 17, 21, 21 plus 3. That'll be 24 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, it is Seattle 37 and the Chicago Bulls 45. So, Chicago is up by 8 on the Seattle Supersonics, 2-1. So now this time Chicago wins the tip-off, and now they're going into the third quarter. What is the Chicago Bulls are going to do here? This will be 11, 12, 12, 14, 15, 17. 17 minus 3, 14 points only for the Chicago Bulls in that third quarter. I don't know what's going on, man. Chicago is just, there's quarters that they're playing real good, and there's some quarters that they just completely slow down. Here we go. The Seattle Supersonics. What are they going to do here in the third quarter? That's going to be 9, 11, 15. 15 and minus 2 will be 13 points. So it was really a great defensive third quarter by both teams. As no team has given up no easy buckets, especially Gary Payton being one of the best point guard defenders of all time in NBA history. Here we go. The Chicago Bulls, what are they going to do here? 12, 16, 18, 21, 23. 23 minus 3, that'll be 20 points. Good defensive play. They have some good defensive highlights from the Seattle Supersonics. Here we go. Seattle in the fourth quarter. What are they going to do here? And this will be, let's see, 10, 14. So that's 14, 20, 21, 22. 22 plus 2 is going to be 24 points. So that was a great quarter for Seattle in the fourth. Let's tally up the scores. 37 plus 13 and plus 24. Oh my God. So that's only 74 points by Seattle. Let's see how much Chicago had. So 45 plus 14 and plus 20. 79 points. So Chicago wins here at home by 5, 79 to 74 on Seattle. And now Chicago leads the series 3-2. All right. So now Chicago will go fly back to Seattle to face Game 6. And let's see if Seattle can do their best to force a Game 7. If they lose this one, this is an elimination matchup. So Seattle needs to win this one really bad. This will be on Chicago. They win the jump ball. Here we go. They're going to start the first quarter. What are they going to do here? And that's going to be a 7, 13, 14, 20, 24. 24 plus 3. That's 27 points for Chicago. And look at that. Chicago is playing so aggressive. Like they really want to win this NBA Finals championship. They're playing like a championship dynasty team like they were in real life. Here we go. What is Seattle going to do here? That's going to be an 8, 12, 16, 18, 21. 21 plus 2. That's 23 points. So that was a good quarter. First quarter for both teams, scoring over 20. Here we go. The Chicago Bulls. What are they going to do here in the second quarter? That's going to be another great quarter for Chicago. That's 12, 17, 20, 23, 24, 24, but minus 3, 21 points for Chicago. So 48 for them at halftime. Here we go, Seattle. This is their roll right here. What are they going to do here? That'll be a 9, 11, 14, 17, 22, 22 minus 2. That'll be 20 points. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, Chicago is leading 48 to 43 by 5. And now we're going to get the jump ball battle, see who's going to get it. And this time it will be Chicago again. So back-to-back winning tip-offs. In the second half, what are they going to do in the third quarter? Chicago, another great third quarter here. That's going to be 12, 16, 19, 20, 24, 24 plus 3. Another 27 quarter here for the Chicago Bulls. And I'm telling you, they continue to play the way they are. They're definitely going to win this Game 6 to win the NBA Finals championship. Here we go. What is Seattle going to do? They're going to need a big, huge quarter here in the third. It's going to be 6. That's going to be 12, 13, 17, 19. 19 minus 2. That'll be 17 points only. What a great quarter. Defensive quarter for the Chicago Bulls as they are already smelling a championship to take it back to their city in Chicago. Man, Michael Jordan, man, he's really already having crying tears in his eyes. And Scottie Pippen too. Dennis Rodman, he went up there to tell him and give him a hug and tell him, look, come on guys, we have one more quarter left to play, okay? Let's not cry yet for cheer, and we got one more quarter. It's not over yet. We have to play 48 minutes. Here we go. Chicago in that fourth quarter. Oh my God, another great quarter for the Chicago Bulls. That's in that fourth quarter, 10, 16, 22, 23, 27, 27, 30 points. And I'm telling you right now, the Chicago Bulls, that fourth quarter, that sealed it up for them. That already put an exclamation point, it put a big X on Seattle. And to say we are the NBA Finals champions after that third quarter performance, man, Chicago, right now, Phil Jackson jumping up in joy. Here we go. What is Seattle going to do? That's going to be 10, 16, 20, 23, 25, 25 minus 2. That'll be 23 points, but it's already too late. I'm pretty sure Chicago got this one. 48 plus 27 plus 30. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago scores 105. And the Seattle Supersonics, 43 plus 17 plus 23. Oh my God, it was a blowout. 83. So Chicago wins the final score 105 to 83. And the Chicago Bulls, look at this. This is so funny right here. Look at this. In real life, they won the NBA Finals in the 1996 against the Seattle Supersonics, 4-2. And guess what? In my universe, it's the same. It's the same result. They won it 4-2 in 6 games only. And Chicago are NBA Finals champions. 1996 replay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You just seen a great NBA Finals 1996 replay. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will continue making one of these. Like, I don't know when, but I'm pretty much I'm sure that it'll probably be like around next week, or who knows. But I'll be making just some of these once a week, something like that, because I have other projects that I have to also rely on, work on. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the video, go please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and go subscribe to my friend Cards and Dice with Don. Go subscribe to his channel. He has great, amazing content. Trust me, you're not gonna regret it. Go check his channel out. He has some great dice rolling games. And also, I want to give a shout out to Alan. I want to give a shout out to Jackson, all the people that have been following me and tuning in my videos. And also want to give a shout out to Jason Graham, John Turnbull, Brian from Clark Addison Games, and of course Dale and Kevin Elias. There's a guy that also Don just kind of reminded me. I kind of forgot about him a little bit, but I knew Jason Graham was really playing a lot of his games, like a few months back. But yeah, so I'll catch you on the next episode. All right, and y'all stay safe and blessed. Peace.